What's good, YouTube? Welcome back to my YouTube channel. You're watching. My name is Ty, and you're watching Flying High with Ty. Now today's video is going to be a little bit different. As you can tell, I'm in my plane Alani, and I'm in the hangar right now. And basically today I'm going to be telling you guys a little bit more about me and how I bought the airplane, how I got into aviation and stuff like that, because a lot of you guys have been asking that. So instead of just me staring into a camera talking to you guys, I figure since I have a whole bunch of like flight simulator videos that I do at home and stuff, I figure you guys could watch that while I talk about talk about my backstory and stuff. So I hope you guys enjoy that. And so basically, yeah, like,
let's begin, I guess.
So a little bit about me. My name is Tyler Burchett. I was born in Escondido, California in January 28, 2001. And I'm currently 21 years old now. So the way I got into aviation is actually a little random. So I'm actually the first person in my family to ever be a pilot. So, but I kind of wanted to be a pilot at a little bit of an older age. Like I wasn't born into flying. Like none of my family members flew or anything like that. So yeah, it's actually kind of funny how I started, because I just basically, me and my dad went on a flight. We went up to Montana to see my grandpa and stuff, and randomly, like, we went on this one flight. I was 14 years old in 8th grade. Went on this one flight up to Montana. I said, "Dad, I think I know what I want to be now." He looks at me, he goes,
"Oh yeah, what's that?"
And I said, "Yeah, I think I want to be a pilot." So, you know, being age 14 and stuff, like randomly just saying that, obviously my dad was like,
"Oh, okay, cool, whatever."
So, but I stuck with it. So when I got home, I started watching like other YouTube videos and stuff on flying and stuff, and basically I just stayed attached to that. So since the age of 14, I've just always been into aviation. I love aviation, I love flying. And so yeah, I went to high school from 2015 to 2019, graduated in 2019. So I currently work at Luxair Jet Centers. I've been working at Luxair Jet Centers now since 2020, summer of 2020. So the past 2 years that I've been working at Luxair Jet Centers, I've achieved my instrument rating and my commercial license. Currently I'm in the middle of getting my CFI, my Certified Flight Instruction, and got my private license in September of 2020, which is about 4 months after I started Luxair. So now that you guys know kind of where I came from and how my whole aviation dream began, I'm going to talk to you guys about why you came to this video. So I'm going to basically be explaining now how I got into buying an airplane and what started that, and basically what it's like and the pros and cons of doing that. So in the beginning of 2021 is when I started really looking for airplanes online, especially after seeing all the planes come into my work. And so that's exactly what I did. For about 8 months out of 2021, I was consistently looking up used airplane websites. I was looking on Barnstormers, Controller, Trade-A-Plane, and a whole bunch of like random websites to where you could like buy used airplanes and stuff. So I was just so dedicated on buying my own airplane. So after several months of searching for an airplane, I wasn't having any luck because the market was just way too high, you know, and my broke couldn't afford no damn airplane. So one day me and Uber are just chilling at work, and you know, we get a helicopter that comes in, and we get a lot of medical helicopters overnight here at Luxair Jet Center. So a helicopter flies in, and we're out there in the field truck waiting for them to shut down and get out. And so we get in field and come back into the building, and on this helicopter, one of my friends, her name is Sarah. I mentioned her name in, I think it was the first video, my first YouTube video at the end. But anyways, yeah, she was here, and I knew that she owned a Piper Cherokee. It's an older one. I knew it was an older one. It was a 1963 Piper Cherokee 180, but I didn't care about the year. I just wanted a plane. So we're talking, and she's telling me like, yeah,
I don't know. Like, I'm thinking about selling the airplane. Like, I don't know.
And so at this point, it was kind of just talk. It wasn't like a guarantee that she was gonna sell it, or it wasn't like, oh yeah, I need this off my hands right now. So then a couple months later, she comes back, and her mood totally changed. She was like,
Tyler, I need to sell this plane. Like, I needed to get it off my hands. Like, I'm not flying it anymore, and you and Uber are actually flying it more than I am. So I'm ready to sell it.
oh yeah, by the way guys, I did have about 10 hours in this Cherokee before I bought it, just because of my buddy, my coworker Uva, also known as Clem, the guy that I always fly with on my other YouTube videos. He actually owned that same Cherokee in Austin for 7 years before he flew it out here. So when he flew it out here and sold it to Sarah owned it for about 2 years, and then at the last few months she wasn't able to fly it, so me and Uber were actually taking care of it for her while she was away from the Goodyear airport. So after she tells me this, I'm thinking in my head like,
Oh yeah, this is my chance.
so we sit down and we talk, and the first thing she asked me is,
Okay, Tyler. Like, I'm thinking about putting it on the market, but like, I know you've been looking for a plane recently and stuff. So what's your limit? And
so I look at her and I go, well, unfortunately right now, like, I can't do anything over 30 grand is like my limit right now. And she was like,
like, okay, well, I was gonna put it on the market for 50 grand. But since I know how hard you've been looking for an airplane, and I know how much you really wanted one, and I'm trying to get it off of my hands as quick as possible, so actually, how does 29 grand sound?
like, y'all, I'm not even kidding. I like, when I say that I have never bought something so fast in my entire life, I looked at her like, sold,
Like, take my money. Just take my money.
and this plane is no longer yours. Like, so I was just in shock, because, like, if you guys are watching this video right now, like, you guys know, go, like, pause this video, go online and look up a 1963 Piper Cherokee 180 for sale, and I guarantee you will not find one for less than 50 grand.
Bruh.
Hell no to the
Obviously there's going to be cheaper ones, like, but you're going to have to do like serious work to it, or there's going to be things that are going to be questionable. So as soon as she told me that price, the first thing I did was I went home, and first thing I did was look up like things you need to know before you buy an airplane, and one of them was definitely maintenance. Another one was insurance. Registration isn't bad. Registration for an airplane is only $5 every 3 years, so that was out of the picture. That wasn't a factor. But then I also, but the biggest thing for me was insurance. That was like, okay, because I know insurance for cars sometimes is pretty expensive depending on what you have or who you go through and stuff. So the first thing I looked at was insurance. So what I did is I actually went through AOPA. AOPA. If you go on their website, they have like a whole bunch of stuff for like aviation, whether if you're a pilot who needs like financing, or if you're a student at a flight school, like they literally have anything for any type of pilot. And so after about a couple days of talking to one of the representatives at AOPA, she gave me a quote for insurance. And honestly, because how old that plane is, or it's on the older side, 1963, the insurance actually for my plane is not bad at all. I'm spending right now $640 a year, which is honestly not that bad. I know some people are paying like $640 every 6 months on their car. So honestly, when I got that price, I was like, okay, that's fair, So the next major thing that I looked at, and what you guys should look at too if you ever want to buy an airplane, is maintenance. Because maintenance can happen at any time, anywhere. It doesn't care if you're on a cross country. It doesn't care if you're taking your girl up. Like, nah, it doesn't. The plane does not matter. If something's gonna break, it's gonna break. So, and obviously you're gonna want to fix it. So maintenance is a big thing, especially annual. And one thing for the annual that a lot of people told me to do is basically just save money. Like, every time you get a paycheck, just put 5-10% away into a separate account, so that way when your annual comes around, or not even just annual, like any type of maintenance on your plane, like anytime maintenance or annual comes around, like you're always going to have that money because you've been putting it aside. You've been putting 5-10% aside. So when everybody told me to do this, I was like, yeah, that's very smart. So that's what I've been doing. I've always been making sure like I have enough money for maintenance, like, and even though like it's hard to say no to some things, like, like if you want to upgrade your plane or throw some fancy stuff on it, like it's hard sometimes to say no, but at the end of the day, like, maintenance is the most important thing, because without maintenance you don't have an airplane. So after looking up all this stuff on things that you should know on buying an airplane, I was very comfortable with everything that I read, and I took notes of everything that I looked up, and I finally came to the decision, yes, I think this is going to be a great investment. But don't get me wrong, like I was very nervous. Like in the back of my head during all this research, I was very nervous, just because it's not every day when somebody wakes up and says, yep, I'm gonna buy an airplane today, like, what I'm saying? So it was very nerve-wracking at first, but I eventually got over it, and so I basically signed the paperwork. Me and Sarah went on the FAA website. She got her paperwork that she needed to sell an airplane, and I got the paperwork that I needed to buy an airplane. So we eventually both of us signed the paperwork. We met up at our work. We met up at my work, Lux Airjet Centers, and we went over the paperwork. She gave me all the logbooks, she gave me all the maintenance records, she gave me all the manuals, all the handbooks that are required for an airplane. So, which, by the way, my plane is a 1963, and it has all of the logs since 1963. So I was in shock. I was in shock that it had all the paperwork since then. So that was really cool. So after buying the plane, which, by the way, I bought the plane on November 5th, 2021. So the day of this recording, it's September 13th. So I've had it for a little over 10 months. And now for the final question. Was buying an airplane at the age of 20 really worth it? Hell yeah, it was worth it. You know what I'm saying? Yeah, but all jokes aside though, like, yes, it was definitely worth it. And even though I spent $1,000 on a new starter and $2,500 on my last annual, that's not bad, considering that after 10 months of flying, I put on about 100 hours on the plane. And if you take 100 hours and multiply that by the cost of a rental plane, that would have costed me about $10,000. So $1,000 for a starter and $2,500 for an annual. That's $3,500 versus 10 grand. So in the end, maintenance, fuel, and everything was well worth it. So if any of you guys that just watched this video are looking for an airplane that you want to buy, or curious on buying an airplane for whatever your needs are, whether if it's for pleasure, business, flight training, whatever, I highly recommend it. But again, obviously everything that I told you in this video was based off of a 1963 Piper Cherokee, and I also got a really good deal for it. So obviously if you guys can get a deal, or if you guys see a plane that you're really interested in but can't afford it, just talk to the owner, try to, maybe you guys could do a best offer, maybe you guys could trade something, I don't know. But if you guys can definitely get a hold of your own airplane, I definitely recommend it. Well, alrighty guys, that pretty much wraps up this video. If I missed anything, or if you guys want to know any more information, just comment down below. If you guys have any questions on anything, I will be glad to answer you back. So I hope you guys enjoyed this type of video. I really enjoyed telling you guys about a little bit about me, and how I was able to buy an airplane and stuff. And I really hope, if you guys are looking for an airplane, I really hope that this video might have given you some pointers, some helpful tips. But So anyways, don't forget to smash that subscribe button, hit that like button, and comment down below if you have any questions or concerns. And I will catch you guys in the next video. Don't forget to always fly safe and have fun. See ya!